Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, you know when you're having one of those days and you don't really feel like doing anything? This is one of those days. And so I am here to show you the power of giving yourself permission to suck, not putting pressure on yourself when you don't really feel that good, you don't really have any energy, you're not feeling motivated, not putting pressure on yourself to be perfect under those circumstances, and just fucking doing something, even if it's one tiny little baby step. Just get to work, do a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. You don't have to push yourself. You don't have to go crazy. You don't need force, willpower, motivation, any of that bullshit. Let's do a tiny little bit. I thought it would be fun to read out one of the final posts of a guy that's finished up in the coaching. And now, this guy, I guess before I read out his final post, I will give out a little bit of backstory. So, I'm talking about this lovely gentleman here on the left named Lucas, and you can just search my channel for 5 years without sex, and you'll see the interview that we did together. We sat down for like 2 hours. He talked about what he had learned. He talked about what it was like to go 5 years without sex and how that felt and all of that and all the achievements he had. He obviously had sex a couple of times in the group. He met some wonderful people. He had some really interesting experiences. And more than anything, he worked on letting go of a lot of his guilt and shame. He was someone that used shame and guilt to motivate himself, which is a lot of you. And if you listen to what I said at the start of this video, I could very well use guilt and shame to push myself today when I don't have much energy. I'm really tired. I don't really feel like sitting down and recording content. I could have used guilt and shame and said, come on, Andy, like you're trying to fucking help people. Don't be such a lazy bitch. Come on, Andy, you've got Emmy and Cam and other people relying on you. You can't just sit there and not record content today, Andy. Come on. Like I could use all of that guilt and shame, but it's not very effective. It only gets you so far. But if you can act from letting go, as in what I did at the start, I'm going to let go of any expectations that I have to do a good video today. I'm going to let go of the pressure on myself. I'm just going to do a tiny little bit and see what happens. If you can act from a little bit of love or just even neutrality, and you say, would I like to record a piece of content today? Or would I like to go and talk to that girl over there? Would I like to go to the gym? Yeah, I kind of don't have much energy, but I kind of would like to go to the gym because I guess I want the nice body. Okay, I'll go to the gym. Like just that neutral place rather than guilt and shame, you will get 10,000 times more done. And so we talked about that quite a lot in this interview. So he achieved a lot. He did a hell of a lot. And he actually stayed on in the coaching for another 3 months. And some people do that, and I offer it at a massive, massive, massive discount if people who've already done the coaching program want to do another 3 months. And so he took us up on that and decided, screw it, I'll do another 3 months. This was really helpful. And what I'm about to read out is very, very, very common when someone does the coaching program, or really ignore the coaching program for a second. When someone achieves their first couple of really big goals, if that's like improving their sex life or losing their virginity or getting a girlfriend or a boyfriend or starting a business and making that successful. Once someone has achieved their first one or two big goals and they start to feel like they have a little bit of a handle on life, they understand people, they understand connection, they understand sex and relationships and all of that a little bit better. They understand their own mind, they understand their own happiness, they understand business, all of that. What usually happens is people start moving on to mindset or happiness, and they finally let themselves start building that winner's mindset that I talk about all of the time. And that was literally what Lucas did. And he's not the only one. We've had a lot of people come to the coaching program and they achieve their big goals and they get laid, they get the girl, they make the money. And then they go, okay, but like, I want to actually be really happy. And yes, sex is nice, money is nice, but like, it's not quite the same thing as deep, truly fulfilling satisfaction, love, and happiness. And so Lucas focused solely on those things in his second round of coaching. And again, that's pretty common. We even have quite a lot of people that come to the coaching program. There's a dude in there right now who literally come and say, I want to work on my self-esteem. I want to work on being happy. I want to work on my mindset. And we're like, sweet, great. Like, what goals do you have? And they're like, that's the goal. I literally just want to be happy. I want to figure out this happiness thing. I want to figure out satisfaction. I want to make the world a slightly better place. I want to make my own life better. Goals, yes, we can set goals, but I care less about the goals and I care more about the mindset stuff. And I'm like, good, this is the juicy shit. Like a lot of you don't know this. You don't realize this. This was never about just getting pussy. This was never about just having having numbers in your bank account. This was about you being happy. Why do you want to have a lot of sex with a lot of women? Because you think it'll make you happy. Why do you want to make a lot of money? Because you think that it will give you security, which will give you happiness, or you think that you can buy things with it, which will make you happy. So what do you care about? Happiness. But a lot of you delay your happiness and you think I can only be happy when I've made a lot of money, or when I've had a lot of sex, or when I've got the perfect body, or when I have this, or when I have my new house, or when I have my husband, or when we have kids together and a cute little dog, then I'll be happy. And you're completely neglecting happiness. In fact, you're selling your happiness. You're selling it. You're procrastinating it and saying, I'm going to put it down the road, and when I get to it, then I'll figure out how to be happy. No, the real magic in life comes from being happy while you work on having a good sex life, or while you work on making more money. You can have both. But a lot of people think they need to sell their happiness in order to make money or get the girl or get the guy or whatever it might be. Fuck that. Then you just won't appreciate the thing when you finally get it. You'll make all the money and you'll be a miserable bastard. You'll have the girl and you won't really appreciate her. You won't be grateful for her. And so, yeah, I guess now I'll shut up and read what Lucas actually wrote. But this is a very common thing that someone will, once they start getting some success, realize, shit, it wasn't just the success that was going to make me happy. It was the appreciation of that success. In other words, it's my mindset. People ask me all the time, what do you think matters more? Like game and all that bullshit, or your mindset? Making money or your mindset? Looking really good or having a good mindset? It's like having a good mindset 100% of the time, literally all the time, will always win. Like that's a very obvious thing when you get a little bit further into your self-improvement. But a lot of you at the start literally just think, if I could just lose my virginity, then I'd be happy. No, you'd just make some other reason why you're not happy. You'd invent some other problem, and then you'd say, when I fix that next problem, then I'll be happy. Because why can't you be happy as a virgin? Why do you have to be unhappy just because your penis hasn't entered a vagina? And if that's all it takes to make you happy, then go pay an escort $100, $200, and then you can be happy. Wow, happiness was pretty easy, hey. And you say, no, that won't make me happy. Okay, so there's some recognition there that your goal itself is not the thing that's going to make you happy, it's the appreciation. So Lucas says, this is my final post in the group for now. I'm excited to see what I can do in my next leg, or in the next leg of my self-improvement journey. I'm really happy with my final post after my first 3 months, so the first time, he finished the coaching, which again, you can just go and check out this video if you want to watch that interview I did with him. And I still feel the same way as in after the second round of coaching. Massive improvements in lessening my shame, my guilt, my negative emotions, and limiting beliefs. Yeah. I know it doesn't really come across in words on a screen, but my God, did this guy go from being incredibly guilt-ridden and ashamed of who he was, and he would try and force and manipulate himself into being successful, and then he would beat himself up when that wouldn't work, and then he would guilt trip himself and be like, why am I being such a lazy piece of shit? So many of you, that's how you think you're going to get to your goals. You literally think being an absolute cunt to yourself is the way that you're going to achieve greatness and happiness, which is insane when you think about it. You literally think bullying yourself is going to make you happy. You also are making a big mistake there, thinking everyone who's happy, like everyone who's successful, I guess we would say, must necessarily walk around bullying themselves constantly. It's like, that's not happiness. Like, do you really think that the guys who have a lot of sex and are really happy with their sex life and really fulfilled, or make a ton of money and are really successful, and, like your Alex Hermosis and all of those people, Gary Vee and all of that, do you really think they go around like talking like an absolute prick to themselves 24/7? Do you really think that that's how they make the next $10 million business deal, or that's how they release their next multi-million-dollar product? No. They're happy with what they're doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't fucking do it. They would have burnt out. And that's the other thing. When you live your life from the principles of shame and guilt and beating yourself up and yelling at yourself to take action, you fucking burn out. That's not sustainable. A lot of you just haven't been doing your self-improvement for long enough to know that yet. But you burn out after months, if not a couple of years. The longest you can ever go being an absolute hard ass to yourself is a couple of years. And then you burn out. And if you want proof of that, how many of you listening right now do your self-improvement, you'll bust your ass, you'll grind, you'll hustle, and then you'll take a break after a couple of weeks and you go, fuck this, I can't keep doing this. I'm so annoyed at women, they're pissing me off, or I'm so annoyed at customers, like, why won't they give me money? And then you stop for a couple of weeks and self-medicate. Then you get back into it and you go, no, I'm going to stop being a pussy. I'm going to get straight back into it. Then you do it for a couple of weeks or months and then you burn out and you do it again. You keep going back and forwards. Why don't you just take action every single day? Like for the last, at this point, it would be 6 years. I have just taken a baby step every day. There are basically no days that I haven't taken a baby step in at least the last 4 years. I can't remember a single day that I didn't take one little baby step forward because I'm not relying on lots of willpower and motivation. Today is a really good example. Pause the video right now. Go back to the very start. What did I say? I said, hello guys, today is one of those days where I don't really feel like doing anything and I have no energy and I'm not feeling that good. I'm going to give myself permission to suck and just do a crappy video with all of you and try and help you just a little bit. I'm still taking action, even on a day that you would probably, the way that I'm feeling internally right now, you probably can't tell, but the way that I'm feeling internally right now is what a lot of you would call the worst day ever. And you would fall off the wagon and not do anything for the next couple of weeks if you felt the way that I'm feeling today. Because you put all this pressure on yourself that you have to always feel good. And you have to always use lots of willpower and motivation and get a ton done. If you would let go of that a little bit and have a little bit more humility and give yourself permission to suck and say, it's okay that I don't feel great today. What's one baby step that I can do? You would be consistent. You wouldn't fall off for days or weeks or months at a time. You would just be consistently going through your self-improvement. You take a little baby step every day, even on the days when you don't really feel that good. You take one tiny, tiny, tiny little step forward, and then you would achieve your goals 10,000 times quicker. So if I can get anything across to all of you, it's do your best to let go a little bit of some of that shame and guilt. You don't have to let it all go all at once. And start moving a little bit more towards self-compassion, self-kindness, just doing a tiny little bit, taking one baby step and thinking of instead of thinking every day has to be this big fucking David Goggins, Andrew Tate fucking, look how much of an alpha male I am. Look how much I did today. I got up at 4 a.m. in the morning and I went for a 50 million mile jog and then I fucking came home and started the next big fucking Apple company and now I'm going to be a multi-millionaire this morning. And then I sold my Bitcoin for a $10 trillion profit. And then I had sex with my 17 girlfriends in my 6 Lamborghinis. And look how much of a fucking legend I was today. No. Some days all you do is you walk outside, walk around for 5 minutes thinking about talking to women, but you can't do it because you don't feel good that day and you just come home. Great, you did something. Or you sit down in front of your laptop and you try and write for 5 minutes, but you can't write a single thing, but at least you tried for 5 minutes and that's better than nothing. Or you're feeling really depressed and all you can do is get out of bed and you do the dishes in the kitchen, you make it look a tiny bit better, it takes you 10 minutes, and then you go back to bed and you say, fuck this, I can't do any more today. At least you did something. That's what a lot of self-improvement days look like, and anyone who is intellectually honest will tell you that. And in fact, if you listen to a lot of entrepreneurs, they do tell you that. They tell you, I have lots of days where I struggle. I've had maybe less so these days, but I've had lots of days where I couldn't get out of bed, and I've had lots of days where I could only take one tiny little step forward, so I just did that. I even had some days where I couldn't take any steps forward, and that's okay. I just tried again the next day. That's how the entrepreneurship journey looks like. That's definitely how the self-improvement journey looks like. That's what the getting laid, finding relationships journey looks like. But a lot of you think that you have to be some fucking alpha male, big dick god Chad every single day. No, that's not how it works. Today is living proof. I'm literally sitting here telling you that today is one of those days where I don't really feel great. I don't really feel like doing a lot. I'm showing up anyway and just doing something. I'm doing the tiniest little bit that I can manage, and that's what this is. I have a coaching call after this for probably last 2 or 3 hours. It'd be about 3 hours, and then that's it. I'm going to fucking play video games for the rest of the day. At least I recorded a piece of content. I did my 3 hours of coaching. I've answered all the people in my coaching group, in my Facebook group, recorded some of them voice messages. So that'll be a total of what? Across the whole day, maybe 4 hours. And for a lot of you, you're not going to be able to do 4 hours on a day that you feel really shit. So do 5 minutes. There were a lot of days, if we go back a couple of years, like if we go back 4 years, there were a lot of days where all I would do was 5 minutes worth of work. And I was like, great, I did something. That's all I can do. All right, let's keep reading. Lucas goes on to say, my online dating pictures and attitude are good enough that I can get decent results proportional to my effort. Yeah, he took a lot of better pictures. Like this is him here on the left in this video. Look at that handsome man. Look at that handsome little fucking stud. Absolute fucking stud muffin. So he did a lot to improve his appearance and take better pictures. We helped him a lot with that, obviously. That's part of why he came to the coaching. But yeah, he did a lot. So my online dating pictures and attitude are good enough that I can get decent results proportional to my effort. I feel like I am a man that has been taught how to fish, absolutely. I still want to go so much further on my inner peace, meeting amazing women, friendships, business, etc. But I have a good idea of how to get there. Yeah, like that's what a lot of the coaching is like, we want to, there's that saying, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he will eat for the rest of his life. And that's the point of coaching, is not just to tell people what to do. It's not to tell you what to think. We're there to teach you how to think, like how to think for yourself. That's the point of the entire channel as well. I don't just tell all of you what to do. A lot of you will ask questions and you're like, Andy, what is the right thing to say to this woman? How do I text properly? What do I do here? And it's like, I'm not going to fucking just tell you what to do. I'm going to start walking you through how to figure that out for yourself, because then you can go off and tackle life by yourself. You don't need Daddy Andy holding your hand every step of the way. A lot of you have been infantilized, obviously just by your parents, but also by society, by the news, but definitely by the government, by social media, by experts and all of that shit. Everyone around you wants to tell you what to do and treat you like a child, and not out of some malicious evil, like I'm not going to do an Andrew Tate rant here and be like, you're in the Matrix, bro, you're programmed by the Matrix. It's just that most people in society want to keep you safe. The government is there to keep you safe. That's their main fucking role, is to stop you from dying. They want you to be alive. And if you're happy, that would be a bonus, but they don't really care about that too much. And the same with most of your teachers and maybe your parents at times. Your parents love you, a lot of you, and want you to be happy to some extent, but they'd rather you be safe. Like being safe is the number one prerogative for the vast majority of human beings. It's the thing they care about most. And so they will tell you a lot of stuff and they will infantilize you in a way. And they'll say, you have to do this. You have to eat this diet. You have to eat this food. This thing's bad. We're going to legislate this and make this illegal. Don't take this drug. It's bad for you. Don't do this. If you do take this drug, you're going to go to jail. Like everything is infantilized for you to try and keep you safe. Again, it's not some evil, nefarious shit. It's literally to try and protect you. Isn't that nice? It's just that most of you have gone your whole life going, okay, like who's going to tell me what to do? Mommy, daddy, will you tell me what to do? Oh, they're not here because I'm a 21-year-old adult now. Okay. College, excuse me, Mr. Professor, will you tell me what to think and how to think? And just tell me what to say and I'll fucking just copy paste it back to you. Just tell me what to think. I don't want to think for myself. And then you go on social media. Okay, just come on, tell me what to think. Just celebrities, influencers, whatever the latest fucking viral trend is. Just tell me what to think. I don't want to have to think. Tell me what to do. Oh, expert. Hey, just tell me what to think. Tell me what to eat. Tell me the exact diet. Tell me how much money I have to make to be happy. Tell me what kind of girlfriend I should get. Just tell me fucking everything. And then you go on YouTube and find other like experts or gurus, people with big followings who will, again, tell you what to think because they're trying to help you. They're genuinely trying to help you. And it benefits them massively if they directly tell you what to think. Because then you think they're a better expert. Like they literally get their ego inflated. It benefits them if you think that they're really smart and they know everything and you should listen to them. And so it's kind of a weird notion to run into people, and there's tons of people like this, but to run into the people who are like, what do you think? And you're like, what do you mean, what do I think? Aren't you, Andy, or you, whoever you're following, aren't you supposed to tell me what to think? And I'm like, why would I tell you what to think? I'm not you. I don't know the best way to live your life. And you're like, wait, what? You don't know the best way to live my life, but aren't you supposed to be the expert? I'm not the fucking expert. I'm just going to hold the mirror up to you and say, look in the fucking mirror and actually make your own decisions. Figure out who you want to be. I will help you get there. I will help you be the best you that you can be once you tell me who you want to be. Once you tell me what you want to do. Like, what do you want from life? It's one of the questions that comes up a lot in coaching. People will ask a question, say, what should I do? What is the right answer? And I'll be like, what do you want to do? And they'll go, okay, well, I guess I could do this, or I could do that other thing. No, I think I want to try this thing over here. And I'll be like, sweet, great, that sounds amazing. Here's the best way to, well, I don't even know what the best way is, can I? How can I know what the best is for you? But here's where I would start. Try starting with this and come back, report back. We'll have more information then, and then I'll, give you some steps on what you can try next. They go out and they try and they go, wow, I love that thing. Holy crap. Like, I can't believe I figured that out on my own. It's like, yeah, you have all the answers inside of you. All of you do. You're all more than capable of going out there and exploring and experimenting, and you would achieve your goals 10,000 times faster if you would just go out there and have no expectations, only curiosity. Like all the time that all of you spend asking me questions. I can, not to like nitpick someone, but on this exact video, there is an example of the exact thing I'm talking about, like literally the exact thing I'm talking about. Hey, Andy, I saw in your old Tinder profile on your website back when you were single, like, would you still recommend that kind of profile for someone who's single today in 2024? Would you change anything about the pictures, fashion, style, bio, etc. for today's standard? Why the fuck are you asking me? Why the fuck haven't you tried it yourself and seen what happens? And so do you see what I mean? And not to single this guy out at all. So if Mr. 7-PU5WJ, what a username. If you're watching, this isn't me singling you out, my brother, but this is such a fucking common thing where people will be like, hey, Andy, like, I'm not going to take any action until you fucking sign off on my action. I literally need you to sign down the bottom and say, yes, I, Andy, give you permission to go and try this action. Signed, Andy, 2025. Go for it. Why are you sitting around waiting for Daddy Andy to give you a thumbs up to go and experiment? Like, how could I know what kind of profile would work best for you? I can tell you the profile that I have. I can tell you the profile that my coaching clients have. I can give you tips on taking some better pictures and all of that. But what the fuck am I going to know? I can tell you that the same profile works for me now. Yes, nothing's changed. Why would something change in 6 fucking years? But you'd figure that out by going and trying. And again, not to single this guy out, but this is just such a common thing. Where so many of you are like, Andy, Daddy, excuse me, Daddy, Andy, please, Daddy, I need you to say that I can go and try this thing. What bad fucking thing happens if you go and try a Tinder profile? You'll just either get a lot of matches, or you'll get some matches, or you'll get no matches. Like, you'll fucking figure it out. Like, what terrible, horrible thing happens? Like, what, your profile is slightly less efficient than it could have been because you didn't know everything that you possibly could have known. Ooh, there's so many things right now that I, Andy, don't know. I am making so many, quote, mistakes in my content right now, literally this second as I talk to you. I could sit there and live in fear of that, which is sort of what this question on the screen is and what a lot of your questions are. They're coming from this like underlying fear that you might not even be aware of. And it's this fear of making a mistake. It's a fear of not being as efficient as you could be. It's a fear of, you go out there and experiment and then you figure out like a year later, oh no, I wasn't doing the optimal thing. Oh my God, I've wasted a year. Oh my God, I could have made way more progress. It's all coming from fear. But if you saw the world as this beautiful playground where you get to fuck around and experiment and try things, you wouldn't be living in fear, and you wouldn't be sitting there asking Daddy Andy, again, Daddy, please, Daddy, can you just tell me what to do? You wouldn't be sitting there waiting for Daddy to tell you what to do. You just go and fucking find out. Do you know how much quicker? Because I haven't even answered. I guess I'm answering now. 1 or 2 months after this guy wrote this comment. So has he sat around, like Mr. 7, if you're listening, have you sat around waiting for me to give you an answer? I'm going to go out on a limb because I've, been doing this shit for many, many, many years now. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yes, you have sat around taking no action or very little action. How do I know that? Because I ran a fucking forum for like 5 years. And I was a moderator on another forum for like another 3 years on top of that. I know exactly where these questions lead to. You ask these questions because you're scared to go out and actually take action. The people who take action don't ask questions like this. And so any of you listening, if you find yourself tempted to ask a question like this, and again, nothing against this question, this is just such a common thing. If you find yourself tempted to ask a question like this, know that you are literally procrastinating your own action. Because the way that people who take action phrase things is they say, hey, Andy, I made a profile. I'm getting some matches. I've already been out on a couple of dates and had some beautiful experiences. I'm using your profile that you had back in, or similar to your profile that you had back in 2018. I'd love to get more matches. Is there anything you think that I could do better? And in fact, you wouldn't even be saying that, because how could I fucking know? I don't know what your profile looks like from a comment. You just would have fucking hit me up for a coaching call, for one of the $200 coaching calls. You would have been like, "Hey, bro, I need a call with you. I want you to look at my pictures and we can go through them properly." Like, I can't help with someone's profile in a comment, can I? I don't know what your pictures look like. And so it's basically hilarious that I get questions like this, and nothing against all of you, but asking a question about like me giving advice for Tinder profiles is like emailing someone and being like, "Hey, can you do a review of my art? Like, I'm an art student. I just want you to give me some feedback on my art." And they're like, "Yeah, but where's your art? Like, how can I give you feedback? Where's your art?" And you're like, "No, just give me feedback on art. Just tell me like what kind of art to do." And you're like, "But I don't know what your art is like." And they're like, "No, I know. Just I've done lots of paintings. I've drawn a lot. Trust me, it's really good. Just give me feedback on it." It's like, I fucking can't unless I can see the art. So same thing with profiles. It's funny that I often get questions on like, "Can you give me feedback on my photos?" Sure, but I can't see the photos. Like, by the way, either, like I said, any of you, pay me $200 and I'll fucking sit there for hours with you going through your profile. Or write this and then put a link to a Google Dropbox or something with your photos. Like, put your photos out there and then I can fucking see them. Hell, any of you could do a YouTube video. Anyone can start a YouTube channel. Make a YouTube video, make it like fucking private or something, and then post it as a comment in one of my videos and be like, "Hey, I made this video. Here's me going through my profile. Can you give me feedback? And I'm happy for you to do this on a public video." And then I would happily do that for free for any of you. I wouldn't do it a lot because I don't really massively give a shit about Tinder much anymore, but whatever. Anyway, getting off track here. Point is, and again, nothing against you, Mr. Seven. This is just such a common question. I get these all the time. Can you, Daddy Andy, give me permission? Why? Why don't you just go give yourself permission? So we went on a massive tangent there. But yeah, Lucas really did embrace that idea that he doesn't need to wait for Daddy Andy or Daddy Cam or Taylor or Ed or anyone else to give him permission. He can just fucking start and go take some action and then ask for feedback. So he really, really, really embraced that. And that is kind of my mission with this channel, with all of you, is to show you that you don't need Daddy Andy to like sign off on everything. Like, why do you need my permission? Here you go. If you really need my permission, a lot of you are just going to ignore this anyway, but some of you will listen to this. If you really need my permission, I, Andy Wells, I'm going to salute you while I do this. Let's get real serious for a second. I, Andy Wells, do hereby give all of you permission to do literally anything, as long as it is adding to your life and the lives of other people that you do it with, like other people around you. I formally, officially, from now and forever, give you permission to try things and not worry so much about, what if I make a mistake? What if I get rejected? What if I don't know what happens and it's scary? But what if I'm not optimal? What if I waste time because I could have done something slightly better, but I didn't ask Andy first? I give you permission to go experiment, as long as it adds to your life and the lives of the people that you do it with. You now have that permission forever. Again, a lot of, you won't remember that I just did you that, and you'll be like, "Daddy Andy, can you give me permission again?" I give you permission from now into perpetuity. That's a hard word to say. All right, let's keep reading. I still want to go further, blah, blah, blah. The way is giving myself permission to suck, being kind and loving to myself and others, taking action and letting go. Yeah, these are the things that when I read them out in one of these like coaching, like when someone finishes, I guess this is almost like a coaching testimonial, but not really. When I read this shit out, when someone finishes their time in the coaching, or when I do an interview with them, it can be hard to realize the impact of the words that they're saying. Like if I just say, "This guy got laid," which he did. He got laid a bunch. If I just say, "This guy got laid," all of you go, "Yeah, he got the pussy. I like the pussy and I want to get the pussy too. So he got the pussy and it's so good." Or if I say, "This guy went from $20,000 a month to now earning $45,000 a month," you're like, "That's a lot of money and it's big dollar amounts and I like money. It's good." But if I say, I sound like I'm mocking a lot of you. Maybe I am, but I'm not meaning to. I'm just being silly. But if I say, this guy learned how to be kind and loving to himself and is now able to take action on his own, and he's letting go of a lot of his guilt and shame. You're like, that sounds cool. Like, it doesn't sound glamorous, if you get what I mean. It's not sexy and exciting. Like, let's play a game here. And again, none of this is me mocking any of you. This is the way that our minds work. We glamorize certain things. We definitely glamorize sex. If I do a video talking about sex, that will get 3 to 10 times the views of any other video that I do. If I do a coaching testimonial saying this guy got laid with 10 women and had a threesome, that video will get like 5 to 10 times the views, compared to if I say this guy overcame his limiting beliefs and now he's loving and peaceful to himself and others and he's had a massive impact on other people. You'd be like, that sounds cool, but how many people did he fuck? And so we glamorize sex. We obviously glamorize money. I think we all know that. We glamorize follower count. Like, if someone has 1 million subscribers, we're like, oh, they must be real smart and real cool and real handsome or pretty. And they must be better than the person who has 1/10 the number of followers. They must just be better. We absolutely glamorize appearance. Like, we glamorize a lot of stuff. Let's play around with this a little bit. If I just searched for some Buddhist monks who look happy. If I show you a couple of these people, like, look at this gentleman here. Look at this guy. Doesn't he look so happy? If I show you that and say, man, I could get you that, or if you follow the content or if you do the things, this could be you. You could be deeply happy and actually content and actually peaceful. And think about what that would feel like to wake up and just be like that every day. And is that AI? Yeah, that's fucking AI. All right, let's find a real man. I believe that's the actual Dalai Lama. Hello, Mr. Dalai Lama. How you doing? I cannot pronounce his name. Mr. Dalai Lama. If I tell you that you could be a happy boy like the Dalai Lama, and if you just worked on yourself, you could be a happy little boy like this, how does that feel inside you? Probably feels like kind of nice. You're like, oh yeah, that'd be nice. But ready? Watch this. If I tell you this could be you, you could be having some of this. Oh my God. I could be having some of this. Are you serious? Like, this is what I could be having? Like, oh my God, I could be having like, oh no, that could be me. Now, how do you feel? Probably feel a lot different compared to the happiness and the Buddhist monk one, right? If I tell you that this could be you, what the fuck is going on with that? Oh my God. Oh my God, cursed AI. But if I tell you this could be you, this could literally be you, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably more the guys that care about this, let's be honest. This could be you. You could be rich standing in front of your Lamborghini. Now we're talking. You're like, yeah, look at this fucking powerful beast. I want to be him. Now you get fucking horny, don't you? A bunch of you probably have a fucking boner right now, don't you? Probably got a big old fucking boner. And so the point that I'm making here is that often it can be really hard to realize that if you look beyond or below the surface level stuff that appeals to our base animal instincts, like the Lamborghinis, the money, the sex, and those things can be beautiful, let's be honest. They can. But if you look beyond them and realize the only reason or the only way you would actually be happy having the girls or having the money or having the Lamborghinis is if you appreciate those things, and if you have the self-love to actually be able to enjoy being you in that moment, instead of being afraid of losing the Lamborghini, or what if she cheats on me, or what if she's only with me for my money, or what if, when I get older, I can't meet these women, I can't fuck these women because I'm too old, or what if I have an argument, what if I have a really hot supermodel wife, but we argue a bunch? Like, don't make the mistake of assuming that rich people are happy. A quick fucking Google search would tell you that a lot of them are not. Don't make the mistake of assuming that everyone who stands in front of a Lamborghini is automatically happy. That is the most adorably naive and cute child mindset ever. And yet it's a mindset that the vast majority of people fall for. It's why other people buy really fancy fucking cars, really fancy fucking phones and all of that. And I sometimes fall for that too. I buy fancy shit thinking, oh, this new graphics card for my fucking computer, what a turbo nerd I am, will make me happy. And it does for a couple of weeks. And then, yeah, but there's like a RTX 5090 coming out and that's like faster. I don't have the fastest one. And then all of a sudden you're not happy. Do not make the mistake of assuming that rich people are happy. Do not make the mistake of assuming that a Lamborghini will automatically make you happy or get you girls. Don't make the mistake of assuming that if you go to the gym, crush it, have big muscles, all the girls will flock to you and then you'll be happy and able to appreciate it. Both of those things are often a complete fallacy. It is the appreciation of these things that makes us happy. And that, again, is something that most people only understand if I fucking beat it into you, which I, do my best to really get it across in a lot of videos. Or if you go on your sabbatical and say, all right, I'm going to go on a little sabbatical, a little mission to have a ton of sex, make a ton of money. You do all that shit. You spend 10 or so years doing all of that. And then you go, why do I still feel like I don't have enough? And then it clicks and you go, oh shit, maybe I don't appreciate the money that I have. Maybe I'm not appreciating the fucking Lamborghini because it's boring now and there's a faster one. And maybe I should have got this Lamborghini in yellow instead of fucking, I don't know what other colors they come in. Green. They're almost always yellow, aren't they? I think they come in white and red and shit like that. Anyway, you get the point. And so, all of that big ramble said, when someone like Lucas comes here and says, I finally realized, like, I'm now a man who knows how to fish. I know how to let go. I know how to be happy. I've let go of my guilt and shame. I know how to just take action and love myself and love others. These aren't small things. These are huge things. This is like life-changing shit that a lot of you don't realize and might not realize ever. Like, if you die thinking that if you're on your deathbed thinking the reason that you're not fully happy and content with your life is because you didn't have enough stuff, you would not be the first fucking person to make that error in thinking. You would not be the first person to get to the end of your life and go, I wish I'd had more shit. That's most people, the vast majority of people. But that isn't the shit that makes you happy. So him realizing or learning how to love himself, how to be nice to himself, how to be nice to the people around him, that's not a small thing. That's fucking huge. He goes on to say, the second part of my coaching had some larger and longer setbacks that we got through. I learned how to not give up in a few challenging scenarios. Yeah, he did. He was an absolute warrior. These skills are super important to build because the final boss is always just getting discouraged and giving up. Yeah. I've blanked out a name there, but he's talking about his accountability partner. One of the things we do in the coaching is set everyone up with an accountability partner. So my accountability partner and I are a team now, so I don't feel like I'm doing it alone in the long run. That is so fucking important. I realize now getting to meet my accountability partner in the program is a super underrated networking benefit of the coaching. Oh, and my final weight in January 15th, 2025 was 160.4 pounds, and his goal was 160. That was one of the goals he had for this second round of coaching. I think that's close enough. So add that to the list of wins. Yeah, and yes. Just don't drink water for a day. I guess you would say drink a shitload of water and then don't drink water that next morning. Don't have too much salt and you'll easily lose like 0.4 pounds. Jesus, yeah. Anyway, I love you guys. It was awesome being here. Thanks for everything. We're all going to make it. Yeah, if ever there was a message from this video, it's you're all going to make it, I promise. And this is also a demonstration of the fucking power of giving yourself permission to suck. I really didn't feel like recording this. On some level I did, otherwise I wouldn't have recorded this. But man, I didn't have a lot of energy this morning. I spent the first like 2 hours of this morning just laying on the couch, by the way. I'm so tired. I didn't sleep that well last night. Really didn't feel like sitting down and recording. Again, I guess I did because I sat down and did record, but I think you all get what I'm trying to get at here. Some days we don't have a lot of energy. We don't have a lot of motivation. Look what happens if you just take a tiny little baby step. I think this video was decent enough. Hopefully it helps some of you. If it doesn't, that's cool too. But this is the power of just trying and give yourself permission to suck. This isn't the best video I've ever done, not even close to it. It's at least something. It's better than nothing. And while we're focusing on just taking action, let's read out a comment from Sasquatch10, which means there are 9 other Sasquatches walking around out there, who says, I've been to my first 3 meetups ever with strangers from Reddit. Amazing. I hope you all wore fedoras. Without this channel, as in our community, I'm not sure that I would have had the courage to take action. So thanks to you. So to you, I'm thankful. Namaste hands at the end there. Love that emoji. My favorite emoji. Beautiful. This is the power of giving yourself permission to suck. He, might be a she, he, she, it, them, they, the, attack helicopter, whatever fucking gender they are. Or maybe they're no gender at all. I don't know. It's 2025 and I'm just confused by the genders. This person wouldn't have taken action if they hadn't given themselves permission to suck. So that's absolutely beautiful. If that doesn't tell all of you with my example, this person's example, and Lucas's example, and a billion other people's examples, if you just give yourself permission to suck and actually take some action and don't sit around waiting for Daddy Andy to tell you what to do or give you permission or sign off and say, yes, you're allowed to do that. And you go, thanks, Daddy. I'm going to go do it now. You're all fucking men and you're all fucking women. Not all of you, both of those at the same time. There's a bunch of you who are men. There's a bunch of you who are women. You're not children anymore. We're past the fucking day when you're going to be a child. We're so far beyond that. Fucking man up or woman up. I say this from love. You're allowed to go out there and actually be a fucking adult instead of a child waiting for fucking permission from your daddy on the internet. I don't know you. Why am I your surrogate daddy? And it's not just me. The government, you make your surrogate daddy. The police, you make your surrogate daddy. Please, police, please, government, protect me. Please, experts, tell me what to think. Please, news media, tell me how to think and what to think and why I'm right. Hey, please, Donald Trump, please tell me what to think. Please, what's the other one? Kamala Harris? Joe Biden? I don't know. Please, other side, please tell me what to think. You're fucking adults. Think for yourselves. If you want more help with this, and I am not going to tell you what to think, but if you want more help with this, and I will help you think for your fucking self, the coaching is down below. Nothing but love, nothing but gratitude to all of you. You're all doing a fucking fantastic job. Take a little bit more action. If I can give you anything, it's take more action. Give yourself permission to suck. You don't have to know what you're doing before you get started. All of you right now, go out and take one little bit of action and write it down below. Say the action that you took. Say the victory, share, whatever it is that your little win was, but go out and do something right now without anyone telling you that it's the correct thing to do. Just go fucking try something. All right. Love all of you. Goodbye.